Hi everyone, I'm Jake. Welcome to Spirit Guide Chat. And if you're new here, please like, subscribe, and comment below on anything that you would like me to read in upcoming current events reading. That's what I do every week, typically on Thursday. Today I'm launching the video a little bit later, so I apologize for that. So yeah, a lot's been going on, of course, like I say every week per usual. Um, so what's been going on in Maine? We've seen a couple things. They're about to have their convention. I know Shannon Bellows that we talked about last week dropped out. However, a week prior to that, I did say Troy Jackson is also a contender that to be a nominee through the cards. They said that. Another thing that what else did I mark? I'm sorry, I a little discombobulated. Had a busy day. Also about his speech not going well. We talked about last Thursday before it happened. There's some doubts right now with Todd Blanche if he's going to even go to the full Senate. And yeah. One thing that I want to talk about is I'm going to change this question. Real quick. So I saw something back here that triggered me to ask. Mitch McConnell. Um, Before we get there, the biggest thing is about the Saudi and U.S. nuclear deal, which was recently signed, which is perplexing on several fronts, considering enriching uranium. Although they put this agreement in line of American engineers, our companies are building the nuclear factories in Saudi Arabia, and this is going to help them, and blah blah blah. Here's the thing. Here's some strange things. One, they're an oil-rich country. Why are they going nuclear? That's kind of interesting if it's just for energy. The other thing is, obviously, is Jared Kushner and other people in the administration, including the orange one, getting rich off of this. And the other thing is, we're enriching uranium is a step closer to nuclear capability, like with weapons. And we want somebody that was responsible in 9/11 to have this capability. This is interesting. Is one of the players in 9/11. So let's take a look here and see, Spirit, if the Saudi-US nuclear deal is going to lead to Saudi Arabia eventually having nuclear weapons. Because once a place has it, they have it. So, and we had a war with Iran, and now we're making, in order to keep not only us but the Middle East safe. So, let's take a look to see if this will lead to Saudi Arabia eventually having a nuclear weapon. Okay. Here we go. We have the judgment card right now. What's going in right now? A new phase for this region. Temperance is on his side. Imbalance, an imbalance has just happened with this deal. Okay, they're wanting to take action. The Magician card's at the foundation. In the past, this is the celebration for the White House with this agreement. Endings and beginnings with the Death card right over. Here's the government in the Hierophant. And here's the Two of Cups. This is the agreement. I think with the Hierophant coming in the near future, this might be the government's Congress might be saying, we're not for this deal. They're very ambitious coming from the inside about this. This is their hope to help this country who's allegedly helped the Trump administration for entertainment purposes only. There's something coming up with the Four of Pentacles. These are both no cards, but then there's a breakthrough here. So I'm wondering, mental clarity, I'm wondering if they will be keeping plans for this, but it might get stalled. I wonder if there's going to be something that comes up in the next Congress that's going to nix this deal. So at least it's not in the near future. They might, with the Knight of Swords, they may start this process, but maybe there's hopefully an ability to start. Let's do a follow-up here, because this is where they were charging towards, where the cards are showing that there is a possibility that Saudi Arabia is going to, but there's going to be somebody that's going to put a kibosh and put limits on this. So let's take a look and follow up and see if Congress, the new Congress, future Congress, Spirit, will they put restrictions on this deal? Will they put restrictions on this deal, like monitoring, something like that, or something? Let's take a look here. Okay, here we have the White House here with the Four of Wands. Five of Cups on here. There's some kind of setback that happens with the White House. The Magician card pops up again. Here we go with the Four of Pentacles. Maybe putting the hand, keeping the cards closed. So there's hope in this. I'm wondering if there's a lot of feelings with the Ace of Cups in the near future, negative thoughts. Planting the seeds for the long term with the Seven of Pentacles. This is in the hopes and fears with the Sun card. Yeah, there's a Tower moment that happens here. The Empress in the money. I wonder, and then we have the Justice card. So I'm thinking that there is going to be restrictions maybe on the money factor or financing this deal to kind of slow up the process. So I'm thinking it's going to be funding that they're going to do to try to slow this process down. Okay. So is it any time in the near future? No. So the cards are saying that it might happen eventually, but it's going to be slowed down considerably, and the future Congress is going to slow them down. Speaking of Congress, let's take a look at Michigan again. Michigan's been very contentious. There are the Democratic primaries in the Senate in regards to Haley Stevens, who's an AIPAC-funded, established corporate Democrat, versus a progressive, Abdul Al-Sayed, who is a medical doctor, and I think he has a PhD too. He was a former Wayne County Health Commissioner. If you don't know, Wayne County is where Detroit is, the county where Detroit is. So let's take a look if Abdul Al-Sayed will beat Haley Stevens, Congresswoman Haley Stevens, for the Democratic nomination for the U.S. Senate. I think their primary is in, I was going to say June, August. What month are we in? We're in July. Man, this summer has been going by fast. We have a jumper here. He's been working hard with the Knight of Pentacles, so Abdul Al-Sayed will win the nomination. Okay. The Lover's card here is trying to bring, there is obviously a schism within the Democratic Party, even in Michigan. Eight of Wands. There's going to be some delays on this, unfortunately. See, this is, every time I've been, lately have I been reading, this is going to be a very difficult race. So if anybody's watching in Michigan, this is an important race. Ace of Wands. He has the willpower, new growth, beginnings. This is a strong card. Page of Swords. In the past, he was a newbie in on this front. He has ran for office before and lost, but he still is rather young and newer compared to Congresswoman Stevens. Here's the World card, crowning the reading, ending and beginning. See, this is where I get worried about him. Three of Swords. There's heartbreak, setting boundaries. I think they're going to definitely, they, as in like super PACs, things like that, are going to be going to be attacking him. So he's outside looking in. The Fool card, people see him as a new beginning. And hopes and fears. He helps to show people that he's nurturing and whatnot. And it's a maybe. Queen of Swords, which could be Haley Stevens on the tail. I think it's going to be still a close race. And here we go, the bully, Five of Swords. It's going to be neck and neck, to be honest. Right now we can check in next as the weeks go on. Maybe. But it's not looking good for him. I think it's probably going to be Stevens, unfortunately. But we also want a Democrat to win, right? And keep that seat in Michigan. Now, their opponent, the Republican, is Mike Rogers, who ran against Senator Elise Slotkin last election cycle. And it was close. It was not that, he wasn't a weak candidate, so it's important that there is a strong candidate in Michigan, excuse me. All right, so as we're getting closer to August 3rd, in regards to Kentucky, a few states down, and talk about the Senator McConnell, let's see what the cards say, because once August 3rd comes in, they can't do a special election, they have to wait till November. So let's see if they will announce Senator McConnell's passing after August 3rd. Will we hear the news of Senator McConnell passing on August 3rd? It would be really sick if they do that like on August 4th or something. But like, shocker, he's gone. I'm like, huh. All right. The Fool card comes in. We have the Queen of Cups on his side. Yeah, with new beginnings right now, there's just insecurity that we're going to have a new special election. Here's the voters and then the Ten of Cups. In the past, this was planned with the Two of Wands. The Queen of Wands is crowning this reading. That could be Elaine Chao there. And here's the news coming up with the Eight of Wands yeah, I think they're going to be announcing soon in the next, because August 3rd it's not, we're talking about like a couple weeks away. And it's going to come back fast, this news. Surprise, surprise, Page of Swords. And this is the secret with the High Priestess card. And here's the new opportunity. So, yeah, it's going to happen shortly after August 3rd or even on August 3rd. So it's not, it's not going to be a surprise. However, and this is typical McConnell, and he's not even here with us anymore, that he'll do it till the last minute. However, karma happens. So let's see if this shenanigans backfires for the November elections. Will the Democrat candidate get a boost and win in Kentucky? Will the Democrat candidate end up winning because of this scandal in November? Woo! Cards are jumping. There's the surprise, and here's the disappointment. So, yeah, this news is going to be a disappointment for a lot of people, because people are not dumb of these games. and people are tired of these kind of things. We are starting to see that with primaries. Oh, again, Ace of Wands. So let's see. Well, the Democrat. Gosh, here's that Queen of Wands keeps on popping out, and I'm wondering too. I've done readings with this question before, and I'm wondering if the Queen of Wands is the female Democrat candidate too. Here we got another one. The King of Cups too. Okay. Queen of Pentacles right here. Nurturing, providing, being nurturing. The Queen of Swords is on her side. I think this is talking about the female candidate in Kentucky. I think she's going to be ticked off. Is ticked off over this news. She is going to be focusing again. This card pops up a lot. In what we're talking about, the Democrats are really going to be focusing on bread and butter issues with the Ten of Pentacles. Here's her breakthrough that happens in the past, which we're talking about after this McConnell is announced passing. There will be some soul searching with the Hermit card, the Devil card. She has to watch out because the Republicans are still going to be pushing against her here, but there's going to be a lot of conflict with, and not her, but within the Republican Party. Here's the hope with the Star card from looking the outside environment, looking in. Seven of Pentacles, looking at putting in the hard work. And yes, this is going to be a surprise with that. But it's going to be a close race because this follows along on the bottom of the pack, the Nine of Swords. But it looks like the Dems may flip this seat. And their plan kind of backfired in the long-term view. Okay. All right. One thing I want to kind of look at and then I have a non-political question here. What will happen? Correct my grammar here. Have you ever done that where you write something and they're like, if I don't correct this, I won't understand what I was meaning. What will happen to the U.S. after the MAGA movement ends? So let's take a look at what will happen to the U.S. after the MAGA movement ends. So show me what will happen in the U.S. when the MAGA movement ends. So there's going to be, we have the Two of Cups partnerships here. The challenge is going to be the Two of Pentacles on the side. It's going to be kind of disorganized. It's remember the Two of Pentacles is, multiple priorities. This is saying that there's just going to be so much to prioritize that there's going to be such disorganization in regards to what needs to be done first, because there's so much to be done after this is over. The Queen of Wands keeps on popping up. So this is courage, determination. Here's in the recent past after the MAGA movement, just a lot of disappointment and moving on from this. The Queen of Cups. There's going to be more compassion in regards to fixing things. People coming together with celebrating with the Three of Cups. And here's the Tower moment. This is an inevitable change. The MAGA movement's going to end and bring people together. From the outside in, the hidden agendas that were going on is going to be coming out, are going to be revealed. There's going to be swift change. They're hoping for the swift change. There's going to be a lot of healing needs to be done because there's going to be a lot of grief. And just looking at things in a new perspective with the Hangman and the Ace of Pentacles with the government leading the charge. But it's going to take a lot of hard work, okay? And walking away from what was built with the Eight of Cups under Trump and the White House. So, a lot of stuff going on here. So, there is going to be more working across the lines, people caring more and determined to fix things. And this is inevitable. It's probably not going to work as the hopes are. What I'm getting is, even though they're hoping for swift change, when you're talking about the government, it's not going to be that as swift as people want, but the change is going to happen. But people are going to start looking at things in a different way and walk away what was built before, like I said. So, all good things coming out. We just have to be patient and get through this. One thing is, I know it's been a long time, and that's what makes this whole thing exhausting. It's like, how much longer? How much longer? But even with these cards, this is happening soon. And it's inevitable. So, like when people said, it is going to happen. It is going to happen. We have to make sure we have, when we're going through negative times, and this is even me speaking this from personal experience as well in the past, it's hard to get yourself out of it sometimes when it gets really bad. But you have to remember, one, to be grateful for things that are presently going on in your life, not always what's going wrong, but also when there's bad things that are out of your control, to let spirit take care of, because it's like, we can't control everything. And it's hard sometimes for me because I'm very independent, and I like to be the fix-it when things are wrong and try to rebalance things. I'm sure other people are out there too, right? All right. Getting back to the last question for the general reading is, will AI be more beneficial, Spirit, over being dangerous to humanity over the next decade? I know there's a lot of negativity going on. We don't hear as much of the positivity, but let's see what will happen. And we're just starting out with AI. AI is just coming out on the forefront, but that box is already open. Realistically, to say AI, we need to shut the door, we can't do that with AI. We're in the point of no return. Now it's about putting restrictions. We're going to put restrictions. Are we going to do better research before implementing things? We had one jumping out. See, there's going to be breakthroughs with the Ace of Swords. So there's going to be improvements on what AI is currently. But let's take a look. Will it be more beneficial than dangerous over the next decade, AI? So there's strength presently. There's strength behind this. What's the moon card? There's a lot of confusion and lack of understanding with the general public, which is not to our fault. This is not our responsibility to know everything how AI does. The communications of how AI is going to help us is not there. They're just saying this is this best thing for product, not communicating well what the benefits will be. And then right now there's a lot of disagreements how to do this. There's so many new companies and things like that. There's not organization, and they're just there to make money right now. But the Five of Swords is not good. And in the past, these companies are looking at a lot of places, like, for example, like China is advancing at a quick rate, and they're trying to get ahead of this so we're not behind. This is definitely an ending and beginning. This is a new beginning cycle in humanity in regards to AI. They are looking at AI for planting the seeds. Like I said, this is just the beginning of AI integration into humanity. So there is going to be some disappointments, a lot of disappointments in this time of change. 3 cups lost, but there are some benefits. You see the 2 cups still standing there in the background. From the outside environment, a lot of people see this as the tech companies, these very ambitious individuals that are just charging ahead and not really thinking things through, right? The hopes and fears is that the AI will be beneficial overall with the Queen of Pentacles, And overall, it is going to be very beneficial. So 10 cups, that's a very good sign with everybody, with individuals as well as families. And it is going to happen fast with the Chariot card and the Fool card. This is definitely a new beginning. But there's going to be boundaries set. 9 of Pentacles, or 9 of Wands. I'm wanting to say Pentacles with Wands. I don't know why today. Sorry, apologies. But there are going to be restrictions in the future about how AIs can be used and cannot be used. So overall, it is going to be beneficial, but we have to put restrictions as things moving fast. Okay? Does that mean that there will be no negatives? Absolutely not. Even the cards are saying that there is right now what we're experiencing is just a free for all, by the companies. But eventually, it's going to be more beneficial once we put restrictions on these companies on what they can and cannot do. All right, good. Okay, 3 weeks in a row, what's been calling me for the general reading is this Queen of the Moon Oracle set by Stacey DeMarco, right here. You can get your own. I got this at a local shop, but I'm sure you can find it online. All right, Spirit. General reading for everyone. And again, for anybody new, I do a 3-card draw, and then I continue on as I feel Spirit is giving this message to everyone until I feel that the message is complete. All right. General reading for everyone. What do Spirit give us something that will be beneficial and helpful to everyone out there? Oh, funny. This was something I just mentioned about. Okay. We have to keep in perspective gratitude, remembering what despite how much changes are and hurtfulness are maybe going around us, that we hold gratitude and remember what we do have. This will nourish us with the nourishment card and help us with wisdom. Also, this wisdom card, what I'm getting is that continue to do research, learn. Don't just go by what anybody just says. Do your own research on things. And it's not to be not trusting anyone, but we should be doing more than just hearing something shocking on TikTok and assume that's the truth, right? So, we're going through this change. I'm sure a lot of us feel this way. You can see the lightning and just the chaos that's going on. And it may feel like extremes right now. This is an extreme card. But we must protect ourselves. This is the protection card. Protecting ourselves however we may feel we need. Whether it's physically, whether it's spiritually. Just take care of ourselves. And also not just about the outside, but really start from within first. Self-reflection of what we need, what we can do to change in order to release a lot of this stress, a lot of this anger, a lot of this sadness that we may be holding on to. Because right now, some of us are feeling dark right now. But if you even see in the darkness, the moon's blocking the moon's blocking the sun here, and eventually this will move away. Nothing stays like that forever, right? This masculine card's coming in because we have to stay strong, right? We all have strength, even though you may feel fear that we aren't strong enough, but we are. Spirit is telling us we are. If we set boundaries to protect ourselves, look at the beauty. This goes with gratitude too. Look at the beauty in this world. There's still light in this world. Again, with the self-love, and we're going to be still expecting the unexpected. But as long as we're taking care of ourselves and putting boundaries and being around people, even though it hasn't said that, we're going to be okay. As long as we take care of starting with ourselves and then expand that light out to the others. All right. With that being said, Thank you all for watching. Again, like, subscribe, hype, and comment below if you want me to answer a particular question in the future. With that being said, bye everyone.